Happy holidays, and thank you for joining us for a special look back at our favorite stories of 2022. I'm Naiba Reynoso. The Department of Mental Health has partnered with emergency responders on a new approach to caring for people suffering a mental health crisis. Specialized clinical teams and therapeutic transport vehicles respond on scene, providing the right kind of care and support.
Initially, when we receive a 911 call, if we arrive at a point in our interrogation that qualifies for the therapeutic van, they respond with the Los Angeles Fire Department resources, or a patient can be identified on scene by one of our resources and they can request a therapeutic van. But they're dispatched by the Los Angeles City Fire Department exclusively.
And we got a call. Oh, this is our work phone. This is Martin.
The goal of the program is to provide services to the individuals who are in need that oftentimes call 911 because that's the only number they know to call, but they're actually experiencing a mental health crisis. What happens is fire gets deployed as well as police. And oftentimes they're left behind without getting services because they are not in need of medical services, nor there's a need for police. So today we have the therapeutic transportation van, which provides the ability for fire to activate our therapeutic transportation van, which is composed of a licensed psychiatric technician, community health worker, and a driver. We have a collaborative with LA Fire, where we are housed at 5 different stations, at 5 supervisorial districts. The services are 24/7. The mental health staff are housed at the fire stations. They are deployed by the 911 system through a system that we have in place, where once the call is cleared by fire and police, they're able to go and attend the crisis.
We're very well received by fire. As fire introduces us to the community or whoever individual that we're going to be assessing, then they walk away. They give us our space because of course, they want us to feel comfortable with the client.
I would say that there's definitely an increase in the amount of patients that are experiencing those types of problems, and including the homelessness crisis here in Los Angeles.
Even if you've been on your medication, maybe you just need an adjustment for that day. Maybe you just need to talk to somebody. And we've had people that just ask, I need to talk to somebody. I need to talk to a psychiatrist and make sure that I'm okay. That's when we take them voluntarily. And they tell us, I feel like killing myself, and or I feel like killing somebody else, or I feel like just hurting myself or hurting somebody else.
This resource is allowing us to get people the proper care that they need, and it's also freeing up our emergency resources for life-threatening emergencies.
After the fall of Afghanistan, thousands of Afghan refugees resettled in LA County. The Office of Immigrant Affairs works with local resettlement groups, nonprofits, foundations, churches, and community groups to help them find housing and jobs. Like all immigrants, they are carried by hopes and dreams to make it in America.
This Office of Immigrant Affairs was opened at the directive of the Board of Supervisors back in 2017, precisely to do that, to help immigrants understand how the county can support them, for the office to guide them along the process and to make them feel welcome to the County of Los Angeles.
My name is Ahmed Matin Qudusi. I'm from Afghanistan. I'm new refugee on the United States of America. Education, working, everything is good in here. But the most biggest problem for us is that right now it's around 3 months that we are in here. You know, too much hard finding house, finding job.
We need to work with them going forward, explaining to them how to establish credit, explaining to them how to look for an apartment, how to keep that apartment, how to enroll their kids in good schools, making sure that they get the right education, that they look for the right jobs.
They are like engineers, we have doctors. By profession, we have nurses, we have construction workers, we have soldiers that worked with our soldiers back in country. They came here, but they cannot do anything. But they're willing to work anything in any area.
In the County of Los Angeles, we have approximately 10 million residents, and 1 out of every 3 residents is an immigrant. 3.5 million people. If you notice, immigrants contribute to the job, to the workforce. They contribute to everything the county does.
Community or the people can't trust the new arrival peoples because we don't have any history and credit, so it's a little difficult to us to find a place here. I started working here about 2 months ago. I started my job at Valencia High School as a translator for new arrival students, Afghan students.
Immigrants are a very responsible client. They make do. They can get 2 or 3 jobs to pay the rent on time. Once the landlords understand that, they're a lot more flexible in understanding that an immigrant family may not have the traditional credit score, and yet they will rent them the apartment and they never regret it.
I want to start the nursing classes, maybe in 3 or 4 more years. I should be a good nurse, I have a job, and I should get my own place.
I just want to be a doctor. It's a big goal for me to be a doctor.
We make sure that they get enrolled, that they understand how to go about it, and most importantly, to understand that accessing these services will not impact their immigration status.
Overcoming substance abuse can be a struggle for people experiencing homelessness trying to get their lives back on track. To combat opioid overdose-related deaths, outreach teams from the Department of Health Services regularly visit homeless encampments to distribute naloxone, a miracle drug that rapidly reverses an overdose and saves lives.
Ashley, I'm here. Both hands, you say? Yes. Okay. All right.
It's a nasal one. You use that for the nails. You know, you put it in one of the nose and you spray it, and that's what saves them.
It's an overdose prevention program in the country's largest county, the County of Los Angeles, and it stands for the Overdose Education and Naloxone Distribution Project. And through that, in conjunction with us and many other community partners, we've gotten almost 110,000 doses of Narcan out into the community, into encampments, into the hands of service providers that work with people experiencing homelessness, and we've saved over 6,000 lives.
If they're overdosed, you want to use one of these, you need this.
I don't know, I think it's wonderful what you guys are trying to do here, you know, getting awareness out, you know, about this, you know, because I've had a couple of different friends that have needed more than one of these, you know, like 3 of them to bring them back.
We started bringing out Narcan with our other supplies and going to each encampment, and where we would focus on the areas where we knew that there was heavy drug use, and mainly fentanyl, and then also meth, because the fentanyl is in the meth and they don't know it.
And to try to not use by yourselves, you know. You try to use with like at least someone. If you know, because by yourself it's really dangerous.
I think they gave me 4 or 5 of them. In 4 minutes,
oh
5
my
minutes.
God,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh, no.
It was beyond like a.
During COVID, 2020 to 2021, there was this increase of 78% in overdose deaths among people experiencing homelessness. People using street opioids like heroin, people using prescription opioids, and fentanyl. And fentanyl has been implicated in the largest increase in overdose deaths in LA County, especially among people experiencing homelessness.
There's a lot of people that are becoming homeless, and because of the situation, people have a tendency to use something to kind of cloud what's going on, so alcohol, drugs, whatever, because it numbs all the stuff that's going on around.
We should go places where no one's going.
Yes, yes.
Today we were able to come out and get a lot of naloxone and other safe supplies to the community so that there's no transmission of disease, right? So that people are safe. And we're able to get a young man who was very sick coming off of heroin.
When we do this overdose prevention work, we take that opportunity to discuss medications for addiction treatment and other substance use treatment services that can be accessed by folks who are ready to use them.
A medical technology breakthrough is providing new hope for stroke patients. A physician team at Rancho Los Amigos National Rehabilitation Center conducted a clinical trial on a new implanted device that helps stroke patients regain their mobility. For Elaine Turner, who thought she lost her prior life forever, it's been a godsend.
I couldn't ride the bike, couldn't walk, couldn't do pretty much anything. My name is Elaine Turner, and in 2016 of July, I suffered a stroke at 58 years of age. The whole left side was numb. Had no idea what to do. I just figured at that point, my life was over. The left side was not working at all.
Patients are left with these residual deficits, and Rancho, as well as many other top rehabilitation centers and research centers, have been looking for a way to be able to make people even better than conventional rehabilitation can make them.
Nice, there you go.
I did it.
You did, drop it off. Open.
Didn't open as much.
Okay, doing good.
I bike ride prior to the stroke. I motorcycle ride prior to the stroke. I line dance prior to the stroke. I travel prior to the stroke. So prior to the stroke, there was nothing that I did not do. After the stroke, it's like I had to relearn these things over. I didn't think I was gonna recover. In fact, I didn't think there was no return until they took me to Rancho.
What a vagus nerve stimulator is a little pulse generator that is implanted in the same places where you would see, pacemakers, cardiac pacemakers put. But there is a wire that runs under the skin that's wrapped around a nerve. Elaine was one of over 100 patients that participated in this. So the idea is that the stimulation allows the entire system to function together so that you continue to get better.
For me, that was really important that I talk to somebody that has gone through it, and that's why it was very important for me to talk to Elaine.
Don't quit, whatever you do, there's hope. You can return. I look at it like I'm about 80, 85% recovered. When I first had my stroke, I was locked here. See where I'm at today? It's possible. Stay with it. Don't quit, because you're gonna have some days you're gonna wanna quit.
And I'm glad that Elaine has been doing so well since she had the clinical trial. So I do believe it will work, with a lot of work.
Definitely, when they turn it on, get your therapy. Don't go without your therapy.
No. The stimulator is gonna help because it's gonna send messages to my brain so my body can respond better. I'm very hopeful about this, about the monitor. But I know that it's just only part of my recovery because there's gonna be a lot of therapy that I'm gonna have to participate. I do have a lot of faith, I do. It won't be like before, much better, much, much better.
If you don't have anyone to keep you going, you could fall short. If you haven't had the actual stroke, I don't believe anybody really can relate. It's one of those things where to talk to someone else that has a stroke, oh, I'm glad I'm talking to somebody who understands what I've been through. You did it. Look at me, Mama, I look good.
Former foster youth LaVara Patton and her baby had been living out of her car as she struggled to get her life stabilized. For young people like her aging out of the system, finding affordable housing can be a challenge in today's high-priced market. But thanks to a voucher program and support system, we were there on move-in day as LaVara opened the door to her new apartment and new life.
Before I started living in my car, I was a foster youth. I was in foster program. I aged out at the age of 21, so just previously in February, my birthday date. I was working with a young, nice woman named Therese, and she helped me through my case. She helped me locate a place, and she's like, hey, I found you something. I know you're living out your car. She was like, I understand your situation. I got a place for you. You're going to get out that car today. Is going to be the day you find something. I'm like, okay.
I tell my young girls, even my young guys, don't be another statistic. Do not allow the system to make you another statistic in life that you would be a failure. Let's give our young adults an opportunity to grow, in getting an apartment, allowing them to live, succeed, gain educational goals, gain employment so they can be successful.
It hurts me to see this because I didn't have to live in a car, but I lost everything. It was hard, but I know what it is to struggle. And maybe this helped me, and I'm in religion also, that God had blessed me, and I feel like I should bless someone else also.
These are the girls, these are basically the people that are young and gonna grow into their profession. And as they grow into their profession, they're going to advance their generations. And with doing that, they're advancing LA County. They're the future of LA County, really. Their story is just a stepping stone right now for what's really gonna happen for them later on in life.
We wish you every joy of the season. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on LA County Close Up.